So welcome all. We would be starting with our session today, and today what we would be discussing is the questions for political science. Now these questions are intended for your UPSC prelims purpose as well as your net paper 1. The first 10 questions that we would be covering would be focusing mainly on the concepts that are related to the NCRTs. The next 10 questions would be on the contemporary topics. So those are again very important. Refer to each of the question very carefully. The language has intended to be dicey. So make sure you read the question very carefully before you start answering the question. Throughout the session we would have two questions which would be the surprise questions. I'll mention beforehand which of those would be the surprise questions. So just keep in line for the surprise question, and I look for the first correct answers for the surprise questions. Okay, great. So great to see you all back. Okay, so the first question is here. Now this question is based on NCRT. Wish you all of you the festive season. So let's begin with the first question. The first question is from NCRT class 10th. So all the 10 questions that we have would be focusing on NCRT class 10th, basically the political science section. This is from the first chapter itself on power sharing. Now we have the assertion and the reason. Based on that you have the statements. Which of the following is the correct answer? Looking for the first correct answer for question number 1. Also I request you again to mention the question number along with the answer that you are providing, so that we have understanding on which question you are marking the answers. Okay, so for the first question, the assertion says civil war in Sri Lanka was the result of the past decade of majoritarianism in the country. The majoritarianism did lead to the preferential treatment for Sinhalese. Now there has been a long conflict between Sinhalese and Tamilians in Sri Lanka, as we have seen in our class on power sharing in class 10th. So the idea was the majority rule, or the majority people who are there will be ruling disregarding the wishes of the minorities or any other population that exists in that region. And that was the concept that was propounded under majoritarianism. As a result, the ideas, the wishes of the Tamilians present there was totally disregarded. The government followed lots and lots of preferential policies, mainly for education, for university positions, for teaching. And this conflict ultimately led to a kind of preferential treatment for the Sinhalese population in Sri Lanka. And therefore, we can say both the assertion and reason are correct, but reason is correctly explaining the idea behind the assertion. And therefore, you have A as the correct answer. So you have Kanwal, Soham, Tanzila with the right answers. Great going. Okay. The next question for you. The next question talks about most of the nation does not follow a federal form of government like. So make sure you read the word does not. Looking for the correct answer for question number 2. Question number 2, looking for the correct answer. So this is again from chapter 2 on federalism, and Sri Lanka is a government where you have a unitary form of government. So all the others have federal form of government. Federal form of government, a classic characteristic is there are minimum 2 or more than 2 levels of governance that are seen. So it could be center state, then you can have further down district, block, called as county in some of the nations. So different names in different countries, but it's basically a segregation at various levels. However, in Sri Lanka, it's just a unitary form of government that exists. So that was the question based on this. The next question is a surprise question. So please make your answers along with the choice. The first correct answer would receive a surprise gift. So you have question number 3, looking for the first correct answer for question number 3. Great going. A lot of you coming up with right answers. So question number 3, looking for the first correct answer. Again, I repeat, this question is from NCERT class 10, the second chapter that deals with federalism and the federalist structure in India. So, looking for the correct answer for question number 3. Great. So again, Kanwal has the first correct answer here. Good going, Kanwal. So that's the second time. Please send in your address at admin@examrace.com. I would appreciate one more candidate besides Kanwal, because so you have Tasdak as the second candidate who come up with the right answer. I believe the second candidate after Kanwal. So both of you, please send in your address at admin@examrace.com. So here, Hindi is not a national language. We say Hindi and English are the official language. India does not have any national language. So the statement 1 becomes incorrect. Originally, the use of English for official purpose was to stop in 1965. That's a correct statement. There are 22 schedules and India is the first language for nearly 40% of the Indian population. So you have only second choice. That's correct here. A lot of you with correct answers. Great going. Another question. This question is based on again NCERT class 10, the third chapter that talks about democracy and diversity. So looking for the correct answer for question number 4. Question number 4, looking for the correct answer. Great. So a lot of you coming up with right answers. Now social divisions are seen in European countries. That's true. Language is the primary basis of social division in European countries. That's again true. We have seen this in chapter 10, where we have talked about the social divisions based on language, mainly in Bulgaria, Romania. These were the areas where you had discrimination against the people that was taking place, mainly on the language basis. Similarly, we also saw discrimination of Irish people in England. So that was again on the basis of language, and you had an agreement that was finally signed between the Irish Republican Army and the British government. So those were some of the major points where we can say the two statements are correct and the reason correctly explains the assertion. Lots and lots of you with correct answers. Abhishek, Gayatri, Deepak, great going. Okay, next question. Arrange the following options according to their decreasing representation of women in their national parliament. Now, how do you understand the proportion of people in their national parliament? It's very difficult to have a general statistics, but if you go through a little of basic IQ, you can understand what would be the correct sequence here. So, women representation in national parliament, what would be the correct order? Looking for the correct answer for question number 5. Now, this topic is from Gender, Religion and Caste chapter. That's, I believe, chapter 4 from your NCERT class 10 Polity. So that's the chapter where you have this question. Looking for the correct answer. Again, I say, as I said, logic is something that could be applied to this answer. So Arun has the right answer here. You have Americas. Now when we say Americas, it includes the North America as well as the South America, so the largest proportion. Then you have Sub-Saharan Africa, so it includes all the countries that lie to the south of Africa, sorry, the Sahara Desert. So in Africa, to the south of Sahara Desert, all the countries that would be lying would be considered as the Sub-Saharan countries. So you have Americas on the first go, then you have the Sub-Saharan Africa followed by Asia and Pacific. So that would be the correct sequence. The next question, again a very important question. Question number 6, looking for the correct answer. This is again from the chapter on Gender, Religion and Caste from your NCERT class 10th. So as I said, first 10 questions from your NCERT, next 10 questions from the contemporary political science. So looking for the correct answers for question number 6. Question number 6, looking for the correct answer. Question number 5, a lot of you have the right answer. Great going. So question number 6, great. Tasdak again has the first right answer here. Arshad the next answer. So question number 6, The idea is we are talking about the Sachar Committee. Now, as you very well know, Sachar Committee was constituted in 2005 under the chairmanship of Manmohan Singh. Now, so it was headed by the Chief Justice of Delhi. So, your first statement becomes incorrect. The second was it was constituted to study the social and the economic educational conditions of Muslims in India. That's totally correct. And under this report, it was considered that Muslims were placed below the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes with respect to backwardness. And that was major reason that this committee and the suggestions came in. So you have 2 and 3 as the correct options for this question. So a lot of you with correct answers for question number 6. Great going. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Question number 7. Looking for the correct answer. Question number 7. Looking for the correct answer. Now this is again from the chapter on gender from class 10th Polity. So there are 3 statements. Which of the following statements have the correct option? Question 7. So a lot of you, Shahid, Priyanka, then have the right answers here. So Lakshmi again has the right answer. So let's understand this one by one. So the first statement, as I always say, there are only minor changes that are done into the question, and with that minor changes the question becomes, the language of the question becomes very, very tricky. So a feminist is not a woman. A feminist is any person who believes in equal right for men and women. So the first statement becomes incorrect, and that's where most of you just skipped it. Okay. The next sentence is a person who says, who is a communist. So communist is basically a person who seeks to create a society which is a classless society. So there are no class distinctions within the society. So second statement again becomes incorrect. Then apartheid is a system of institutionalized racial segregation as it happened in South Africa. So that's correct. So you have 3 as the correct answer. So only 3 the choice 3 is the right answer. The next question is very, very important. I am adding one more surprise question to your list. So there is one more question that's here. So looking for the first correct answer for question number 8. Question number 8, looking for the first correct answer. Now this question is again from NCERT class 10 chapter 5, that's basically talking about the people's movement. So great Bhaskar, Bhaskar has the first right answer, great going Bhaskar. So this movement, the Hachchiko movement, which is a movement for non-violent protest, was started in Karnataka. Now in Karnataka the idea was nearly 30,000 hectares of the land would be was taken by a company which was known as the Karnataka Pulpsoft Limited, and this was given virtually free of cost for a period of 40 years. Now that was the point where local farmers started the movement, and this company started to grow eucalyptus in the region, which was useful for most of the people. And later on, this was the name of the movement, which was known as Kittiko-Hachchiko, that means pluck and plant. So that was a non-violent movement or a non-violent protest where people plucked the eucalyptus plants and planted the saplings to have a useful plant. Again, so that was very, very important, a very important question from your NCERT and even for your upcoming examination. Question 9, match the correct column. So you have column A with column B. So column 1 and column 2, you have to match the correct choices. Question number 9. So great Deepak. Sagar, Rehas, oh great, a lot of you with correct answer. So I believe you did the easiest one, NSUI, that's the students organization, and through that you led up to the answer. So that's how most of the students do. Okay, Bhartiya Kisan Sabha, as the name suggests, it's an agrarian group. This was pretty simple. FICCI is a business group and AITUC is a trade organization, or trade union rather, I would say. So you have those correct matches there. The next question, the last question from your NCERT, talking about political parties from class 10. So you have the last question. Which of the following countries have a two-party system? Now most of the countries across the world have a multi-party system. Which of the countries from the given choices have just two parties? A very, very important question here. Question number 10, looking for the correct answer. Question number 10, looking for the correct answer. So Kanaya has the right answer. You have Bhutan as the only country which has two-party system. And this is, again, as I said, you have the Bhutan United Party on one end and the Bhutan Peace and Prosperity Party. So just two parties in Bhutan, and that's very, very important question. Now let's move on to the contemporary section. Some of the most important issues have been put up in your contemporary section. Read the questions very, very carefully. Utmost important for your upcoming examination. Right to disconnect bill. Some of you might have not even heard of the terminologies that are here, but these are really, really important in line of your political science. So the first question, which is incorrect. Now read the question again very, very carefully. The question says which is incorrect regards to right to disconnect bill. Now first of all, let's understand what is right to disconnect. A very, very important question that was there. Kanwal, so NSUI links to Students Union, so Bhartiya Kisan Sabha links to Agrarian Society, so that way you can link the answers for question 9. You can just check out the correct links later on. I have not exactly matched the columns, okay? So question number 11, looking for the correct answer. Oh great, Bhaskar, Ashrad, Sagar, a lot of you with right answer already. So right to disconnect bill is a very interesting bill. It's a private member bill which was introduced in Lok Sabha by a MP called as Supriya Sule. The idea was to curb down the work related stress, or for, I can say, a better balanced life, we can say. This bill applied to a company with more than 10 employees up to 50 employees. And idea was that the worker or the employee would not be asked or would not be liable to respond after the office hours. So he has the right to disconnect fully. And that's where you have the choice here. It applies to company with more than 10, less than 50. So C becomes the incorrect choice. France already has it. What it empowers, we have already talked about. And these companies also set up employee welfare committee to ensure that this is under compliance. So very, very important question. I hope that's clear. Question number 11. A very important question, as I said. The next question is regarding the AIDS and the HIV Syndrome Act 2017. Which of the following statements is correct regarding these? Question number 12, looking for the first correct answer, question number 12. Great, so Dhabir has the right answer here. So you have, it prohibits the discrimination, kind of unfair treatment of people suffering with HIV on any ground. So first is the correct statement. Also, India now aims to decrease the new infections by 75% between 2010 to 2020 and eliminate AIDS by 2030. So that's the vision. So that's again important, very important act that has been recently passed. So I hope that's clear. The next question, Again, a very important question. Recently, President gave his assent to a bill which gives legal protection to Good Samaritans who help accident victims with emergency medical care within the golden hours. Now, which state has enacted this bill? Question number 13. Based on Good Samaritan policy, again very important. So, this was given by which state? Question number 13. Looking for the correct answer, I request you to please mention the question number. Great. So, Nitish, I guess Rakesh, Sagar, a lot of you. Okay. So, Karnataka is the right answer here. The next question is on dam safety bill. We have already covered a lecture on dam safety bill 2018. So, if you have any doubts, you can just go back and refer the lecture again. Very important topic for your upcoming prelims as well as mains examination. Question number 14. Again, read the question carefully. The question says incorrect. It's not correct. It's incorrect. Okay. So, read the question carefully. Question number 14. No. Looking for the correct answer. Ankita has the right answer. So, bill provides setting up National Committee on Dam Safety, but this Dam Safety Authority would be headed by an officer not below the rank of Additional Secretary, and that too would be appointed by the central government. Okay. So, that's very important. The rest of the statements hold correct. So, that's the only incorrect statement that's given here. So, you have B as the incorrect option. The next question, again a very important bill that has been passed in 2016 that talks about transgender persons protection of rights. So, there are two statements, assertion and reason. What do you think would be the correct answer for question number 15? Question number 15, looking for the correct answer. So, A, great, Dabir, Bhaskar, a lot of you, Kanwal. Okay, so that's the right answer. Now, basically this act prohibits any kind of discrimination against the transgender person, and in legal service, the National Legal Service Authority versus the Union of India case, this transgenders have been considered as a third gender by affirming that the fundamental rights are guaranteed under the Constitution of India, and they must have an identity proof being certified from the district magistrate on the recommendation of the screening committee. So, you have both the assertion and the reason that are correct, and reason correctly explains the assertion here. I hope that's clear. Question number 16, looking for the first correct answer, a surprise question. Question number 16, looking for the first correct answer. Please mark the question number along with the question. Question number 16, looking for the first correct answer. Kanwal again has the right answer, so I would give the chance to Ankita this time. So, Ankita has the next right answer. Okay, so recently in March, you have Bhagawan Lal Sahni, who was appointed as the chairman of the National Commission for Backward Classes. So, that's a correct statement. The National Commission is a successor to the National Commission for the Socially and the Educationally Backward Classes. That's again a correct statement. But this National Commission for backward classes is a constitutional body. Now, we have already covered one lecture where we have talked about what is a constitutional body versus what is an extra constitutional body. So, under the extra constitutional body, you would have the statutory body and the executive body, and this National Commission for Backward Class is a constitutional body. A very important question. Off and on from political science, you would have a question which of the body is a constitutional body, executive body, statutory body. So, very important question. Keep this in mind for most of the committees, most of the commissions that you are going across. I hope that's clear. Similar to the ministries that we have talked about in the last class. The next question, pretty simple, a lot in news. I would expect a very quick answer for question number 17. What is Rail Drishti? So it's clear from the name itself. Question number 17, looking for the first correct answer. So great, a lot of you with the right answer. So Rail Drishti is related to digitalization of Indian railways. A very, very correct statement. So that's basically to bring in more transparency and accountability into the system. Very, very important question. So in line of the recent happenings, Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi and a lot more here. So you have question number 18, the Fugitive Economic Offenders Act 2018. Looking for the correct statements for this act. Very, very important for your upcoming examination. Expect a probable question on this topic. Question number 18. Oh great. So lot of you with the correct answer. Okay. So here, what is the amount that is involved is 100 crores, and that's the only change in the language. So your first choice becomes incorrect. The second choice remains correct. Second statement is correct. The first becomes incorrect. So this involves at least minimum of 100 crores or more, and they have left India to avoid any kind of prosecution against them. So economic offenses dealing with 100 crores and more and leaving India to avoid any kind of prosecution is considered a fugitive economic offender. Okay, so that's very, very important. Question number 18. So right, Abhishek has the explanation there again. Again, a very important question. Right of children to free and compulsory education bill 2018. Which of those is incorrect? Again, read the statement carefully. Which of those is incorrect? Jay Kumar, yes, we do have a video on constitutional and extra constitutional bodies. It's a kind of short video, less than 5 minutes. You can find it on exam race. You'll have the link there. Question 19, looking for the first correct answer. Oh great, so a lot of you have the correct answer there. So Sneh has the right answer. You have Jay who has the right answer. So now here, this bill, that's the Free and Compulsory Education 2018 bill, that's basically the amendments talk about to do away with the no detention policy as mentioned in the previous law. States can choose to hold a regular examination either at the end of class 5 or class 8 for promotion to the higher classes. Article 21A basically enables the right to education act, but the right for children to free and compulsory education act was enacted in 2009, but it commenced in 2010, and that's little changes in the language, as I always say. So it was enacted in 2009, but it commenced in 2010. And that's the only difference that's there, and therefore choice D stands incorrect. The last question for today, it's regarding the National Council for Teachers Education Amendment Bill 2018. Which of the following is the correct statement? Sneh, it's my pleasure. You are giving the correct answer, so definitely you need to be addressed. Last question, looking for the right answer. And believe that for UPSC you have to practice a lot on assertion and reason. A lot of students are confused with assertion and reason. The only way you can do it is read the two sentences together, combining them with the words because, hence, therefore, and if that connects, that means they are, both the statements are true and it correctly explains the reason, as in this case. So you have, as a lot of you have been saying, Sneh, Shahid, Anil again, so you have both the statements hold true and reason is the correct explanation for this assertion, because if I read it like this, National Council for Teachers Education Bill 2018 aims to protect the interest of the students who have completed from an unrecognized institutions, because this bill retrospective permission grants retrospective permission to start a new course in teaching education which satisfies certain conditions. So that means I am able to connect the reason to the assertion, and therefore both the statements stand true, and reason is the correct way to explain this assertion. Okay. So I hope this was clear. So that was for today. Enjoy your rest of the day today, and see you on Tuesday again with our logical classes, the aptitude classes. So Tuesdays and Thursdays for this month and coming month will be meeting at 10:30 again. Wish you a good luck. Have a great day ahead.